Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the News First team. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
President accepts the COVID-19 vaccines from India. Inoculation process to commence tomorrow. CEB trade unions explain the impact of the East Container Terminal crisis to the Ceylon Electricity Board. WHO team in Wuhan to begin long-delayed coronavirus investigation after clearing quarantine.
Now those stories in detail. The flight carrying the stock of India-manufactured Oxford AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine arrived in the country a short while ago. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa officially accepted the stock at the Bandaranaike International Airport. Today is Durutu Full Moon Poya Day. The significance of Durutu Full Moon Poya Day is that it marks Gautama Buddha's first visit to Sri Lanka.
It was on a day like today, 9 months after the Enlightenment, that Gautama Buddha set foot on Sri Lanka for the first time to solve a confrontation between the Yaksha and the Naga tribes. Religious observances in temples around the country were conducted in accordance with quarantine regulations. This is how the devotees performed religious observances at the Temple of the Tooth in Kandy. The annual Alutsahal Mangalya, or the annual harvest festival, took place today at the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. During this festival, the first crop of the harvest obtained from fields owned by the Temple of the Tooth is offered to the Sacred Tooth Relic. Meanwhile, a special puja organized by Newsfirst was held at the Shakyamalake opposite the head office of the capital Maharaja Group this morning. The staff of Newsfirst participated in the religious observances.
Tateyampe buddhang saranang gacchami. Corona වසංගතයත් එක්ක මිය පරලෝකීය සියලු දෙනාටම පින් පැමිණවීමත් ඒ ආසාදනය වෙලා රෝගීව සිටින අය සුවපත් වෙන්නත් ලෝකෙම්ම මේ කොරෝනා වසංගතය දුරු වීම පිණිසත් මේ ආශිර්වාදාත්මක පින්කම හේතු වේවා කියන ප්‍රාර්ථනාවෙන් යුක්තව.
We had been reporting to you many instances where sites with a high archaeological value in the country getting destroyed at the hands of our own citizens. This is the fate of Dembaralava Rajamha Viharaya in Kandy and the historic Pattini Devalaya in Devale Gama.
The historical Dembaralava Rajamha Viharaya is an important archaeological site with great value located in Pujapitiya, Harispattua, Kandy. History tells us that this temple was built during the time of King Walagamba. However, it is now in a dilapidated state due to the lack of proper attention towards its maintenance by the archaeological authorities. This is the fate of the murals and statues of the temple. The residents of the area point out that the relevant authorities should take immediate action to protect this historic site, and it should be inherited to the future generations. Meanwhile, this is the state of the historic Pattini Devalaya in Yaggahapitiya Devalagama, Kandy. Residents of the area point out that this is a sacred place which is believed to have been built during the reign of King Bhuvanekabahu IV and has now been completely destroyed due to the negligence of the authorities. Area residents claim that the temple is being continuously destroyed by treasure hunters.
A team of experts from the World Health Organization are due to leave quarantine in Wuhan and begin their on-the-ground investigation into origins of the coronavirus.
Nearly 100.9 million people around the world have been diagnosed with COVID-19 and more than 2.17 million have died, according to data from the Johns Hopkins University. Dutch virologist Marianne Koopman, a member of the investigation team, said that she is quite optimistic about the investigation. However, she also cautioned that people might need to temper their expectations, noting that this is only the very beginning of their investigation into the COVID's origins and that the process could take years. Meanwhile, Japan says AstraZeneca will manufacture more than 90 million coronavirus vaccine shots in the country. The British company confirmed to Japan's health ministry it will make the bulk of the vaccines within the Asian nation, according to news reports. Chief Cabinet Secretary Katsunobu Kato said he believes that it is very important to be able to produce the vaccines domestically. Japan plans to begin its inoculation drive late February.
The United States is reviewing weapons sales to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates authorized by former President Donald Trump, a move that Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said was typical of a new administration. Here are some of the views expressed regarding the East Container Terminal of the Colombo port.
After
they sell out the port, the land and shares of the Electricity Board and the Petroleum Corporation will fall victim. There will be no shares left in the Insurance Corporation. They are plotting plans to sell out the national treasures of this country to multinational companies. But they continue to call themselves a patriotic government. The leaders who said they are not going to sell this land is going and doing the opposite. At the end, there will be Chinese and Indian nationals in our parliament. We will fight on the streets until this government stops selling our national resources which are owned by the citizens of this country and the future generations. The previous government gave away the Hambantota port on lease for 2 terms for 99 years. Did the JVP or the trade unions raise their voice against it? And today we are not going to give away the whole Colombo port. It is only one terminal. That too, we are not going to sell it out. We are bringing an investment. If there is a plot of land in my city and if I don't have enough funds to do any construction on this, either I will have to go for a loan or I'll have to find an investor to do it.
Trade union claim that the independence of the CEB will be affected by the government's decision on the East Container Terminal.
A delegation from the United States arrived in Sri Lanka on a private jet. They went and had a discussion with Mahinda Rajapaksa. They promised to bring a number of ships to the port. Those ships will be docked at the port and the electricity will be provided to the people and CEB at a higher rate. I watched the visuals of that discussion. In those visuals, Mahinda Rajapaksa very clearly said the US will be coming to build the LNG power plant and the Keralapidiya power plant is to be handed over to the US. The then foreign minister came to Sri Lanka to discuss about the East Terminal, and once they left, we received information that the East Terminal had been handed over. The power supply was to be provided through our power plants. The Chinese will demand the Norotchole power plant if the East Terminal is given to India. They will have to put up a board saying it's up for sale. After that, nothing will be left for the people of this country.
Amerikanu Rajya Lekamta Sri Lanka Prajatantravaadi Samajwadi Janaraja Bharadi own Gosata Gila.
Meanwhile, Minister of Power and Energy Dalla Salha Peruma expressed his views on the future steps to be taken regarding power generation. From next Monday, we are expecting to conduct a final detailed feasibility for Sri Lanka's first power plant that can store the power that has been generated. We have to choose the best location either from Victoria or Aranayaka. The necessary cabinet approval was given by the President and the cabinet on Monday evening. We believe that next month we will be able to start work on Sri Lanka's first LNG power plant at Keralapidiya with a capacity of 300 megawatt. We have received all the approvals. Also, the CEB expects to go for an international tender in about 2 weeks. We hope to be able to operate both LNG natural gas supply and a second LNG power plant in Sri Lanka as 2 active power plants by the year 2024.
We have received some pictures of the moment when the Indian COVID-19 vaccines arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport. From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website, www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Martin Satyanesan, along with our producer, Ravinder Jayakudi. You have yourself a wonderful day.